useless.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Box, the exciting show where we open a box and decide if the box rocks or if it's a box full of rocks.
I don't know if this is going to be a good episode.
This pillow is fucking useless shirt.
Yeah.
Well, hello everyone out there in PJCN land. PJ's not here tonight, and that's okay because I'm here and I'm joined with two amazing guests. I am, of course, Maxwell Haddad. It's Monday, March 29th, 2021, and we are here to do a watch-along of a film I think would appear on all three of our top 10 favorite films of all time, A League of Their Own by Penny Marshall. This is bringing our wonderful Women Filmmakers Month to a close. It's been a great month of films. Our patrons picked some great stuff. We picked some great stuff, and it's been so much fun. And hopefully we'll do another one of these again soon. Before we talk a little bit about the movie and then start the watch along, I just have a couple of show notes and stuff that's coming up in the channel in the next few days. It's a bit of a light week. We have nothing on Wednesday or Thursday. Chris Clark is not doing a Sunday Soundtracks because if you know Chris Clark, you know how much he loves King Kong. So he said, I am not doing it on Wednesday because I'm going to watch Kong versus Godzilla at least 3 times in a row. On my couch. So I hope he has a wonderful time. I hope it lives up to his expectations. And that's why there's no Suddenly Soundtracks. However, tomorrow night is our monthly patron Q&A/AMA, whatever you want to call it. Yep. Last day of the month. We're getting it in just under the wire, or second to last day of the month, I guess. So if you're a $2 and up patron, you can join us at 10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow and ask us whatever you want. And because it's unlisted, we will answer whatever you want. No secrets, no surprises. If you want to ask us Schmodown stuff, First Class League stuff, Bajukin stuff, I will be there. I will be traveling to Florida tomorrow, so I'll be there from Florida, so you won't see this beautiful stuff. You'll see a house. PJ will be there, Kristen, Chris, a bunch of other people, who knows, who may pop in. Be a lot of fun. If you're not already a patron, you can still join us in time. $2 or up to join us for the AMA tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. They tend to go a little off the rails, but when do we ever stay on the rails? In fact, if you watched the Unwind last night, not only did we talk about our preferences regarding what you would rather have in your mouth, bacon or, I'm not going to say it, this is a family-friendly evening. We decided we have a new tagline for the Unwind. So instead of the Sunday evening Unwind, the show about whatever, henceforth, it'll be the Sunday evening Unwind. Where we're going, we don't need rails.
Nice.
Chris Clark is working on changing the logo. Also, we don't officially know what film we'll be doing a watch-along of on Friday. However, as a first announced last night, the entire month of April will be April. That's right. All films we watch will either involve apes, gorillas, or monkeys. One of the three. Stuff like Planet of the Apes, Mighty Joe Young, Dunstan Checks In, Project X, Gorillas of the Mist, etc., etc., etc. So yes, our executive producer patrons, you must pick a film involving a gorilla, an ape, or a monkey. Don't try and pull a fast one on us.
No chimps? Come on.
Yeah, chimps are fine. Anything in that primate arena. I could list them all. Orangutans, it's the whole thing. Speaking of patrons, a huge thanks, as always, to our amazing patrons, our executive producers, Brandy Parker, Brandon Buckingham, and Ricardo Franco, our gold producers, Sean Wingblade and Mike Kay, and our producers, Stephen White, Kale the Youth Critic, Bajor, Jake Berlin, Anton Putra, Tyler Birch, Patricia Carrillo, Chris Pokernoy, She-Ra Potato, Molly Damon, Beth Harris, Ferris Muthana, and Jeff Alterman. None of us would be here without your support. Is amazing and wonderful, and our never-ending gratitude. A couple other notes, of course, on Saturday afternoons, we do our Falcon and the Winter Soldier recaps on the PJCN Water Cooler chat. And coming up, on April 13th, will be episode 3 of Book Nook, and we're doing a crossover with Danny Ramirez's show, Watch the Book. So we will be reading Never Let Me Go and watching the film and doing comparisons and whatnot between the book and the film, breaking them both down. That's going to be a lot of fun. I love Danny. She's one of my favorite people. I was her first ever guest on her show, Watch the Book, so it only made sense to return the favor, and that's going to be a lot of fun. But let's get into A League of Our Own. So as I said at the top, both of you love this movie so much. It's in your top 10 of all time. Teresa, what is it about this movie? When did you first watch it? Why do you connect so much to it?
So I definitely grew up in a baseball family. If you know anything about, first time watch. I'm so excited. I am so excited for you. But if you know anything about Baltimore
What's up,
sports,
Peggy? Did you want to join us, Peggy? By the way, I could send you the link. If not, you're cool to just hang in the chat.
But so the year I was born was the year the Colts left. So there's baseball was basically, the sport in Baltimore. And so my dad played, my mom played, my sister played. It was all around. But so this was the first movie that I can remember that I'd watched enough times to be able to recite every line along with it. So I can't tell you exactly when I first saw it, but almost all memories I have in my life somehow tie into this movie because I've never really known a time where I couldn't just recite a line back to you if you give me one. So I love this. It's actually in my top 3 movies, and it kind of rotates with the other 2 a little bit. So at some points it might be my favorite depending on my mood, but it's very high up there.
That's awesome. And what about you, James?
Yeah, I mean, very similar circumstances and situation there. And I know that Teresa will agree. It's going to be very difficult for us not to just quote the entire movie as we do this. But yes. It's one of those movies that I had seen so many times growing up. Anytime that it was on TV, anytime that I was just in one of those moods where I need something nice and happy, I always put on A League of Their Own. Again, I've got a huge baseball background too, played it all my life. Don't remember actually, but I have pictures of me in diapers, as an infant being held by Orioles players. And so I've always grown up in and around baseball. So this is such a familiar movie. It's such one of those comfort meal type of movies for me. And it's such a fantastic one. It's not, a cult classic that, it's just that you like. No, it's a fantastically well-made movie, well-acted movie. And it's got a lot of heart to it. I just love it so much.
Yeah, I mean, same for me. I can't necessarily remember when I first saw it just because I feel like I've always known this movie. Mm-hmm. It's just always been a part of like my film lexicon or my cultural lexicon. It's well known. I love baseball. I think this is the best baseball movie. It captures everything that's wonderful about the sport. But then it also has these wonderful, richly drawn characters by just the most amazing cast of women and Tom Hanks. Yes. Penny Marshall is a great filmmaker, and it has such heart and so much humor and so much love of the game of baseball. But we will get into all of that and more as we watch the film. Normally, this is when I would throw to PJ and have him count down, but he's not here, so I guess I'll do it myself. Unfortunately, this film is not necessarily available on any streaming service for free, so whether you have it on Blu-ray or you've rented or bought it on Amazon or iTunes, I'm going to count down from 5. I'll say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play, and then we'll start watching Penny Marshall's A League of Their Own. Are you both ready?
I'm so ready.
Yes, let's do it. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Columbia Pictures. I'm in the right spot.
And a couple years ago, the Orioles did a on-field watch party for this. So we got to go to the game, sit out in center field, and watch on the Jumbotron, A League of Their Own. And they gave us this lovely Rockford Peaches hat with a nice Oreo bird on the side, and this
That's awesome.
baseball t-shirt is the best.
I was telling Teresa before we started that I actually have a couple of like Rockford Peaches jerseys, but they are way too big for me now. So if I put it on, it looks like a dress. So I should get more, but I've already replaced
Turn it
enough
into
of
a
my-
skirt. Dirt in the skirt.
Yeah, I could.
Well, and so a couple, even before we went to see this at Camden Yards, the very first time James and I attempted to do like a joint watch movie where we both like did play at the same time, this was what we chose.
That's right.
So
Aw.
long history for us.
Imagine how cool you have to be as I see Madonna's name in the credits to even in a film just get credited by one name.
Right.
Right.
Like that is pure badassery.
And this casting for older Gina Davis is just spot on.
I'm still not convinced it's not her in makeup. I
I
know
know.
it's not, but
That's what I
every
always
time I
say.
watch it, and I love the book ending of the movie, how it's in the future when they're older at the beginning and the end. But I swear, it really just looks like amazing prosthetic.
Yes.
Older
And it is
Part
her
of that has to
voice.
do with the dubbing.
Yeah, it is her
They
voice.
dubbed Gina's
So I think that
voice.
adds to it. But no, you just the bone structure, everything.
Oh, look, John Lovitz.
Yeah.
I wonder if that came up anywhere recently. Yes, David Strathairn is in this. It's such a good cast. I mean, from
Yeah.
top to bottom.
This is the first movie I always think about when I think of David Strathairn. Anytime I see him in something, I was like, oh, nice.
For me, I'd probably go Good Night and Good Luck.
Mhm.
And then this would be second.
I'll say, but one of the main reasons I wanted to see that movie was because he was in it. So this is one, a lot of the people, if they're in the cast of
And-
this, I enjoy following them and seeing what they do later on.
And he is also has a great role in Nomadland,
Yes.
Yes, he does.
which he's really, really good in. Yeah, Reef. I've always, it kind of looks like it. It's just great, great casting. And it is Gina's voice. So I think there's something just like, I don't know, an optical illusion, but like an intellectual illusion that the fact that it's her voice and just someone who looks close enough.
Hmm.
Featuring Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
I have these conversations with my nephews. Where the older one is he's definitely more sports inclined. And then I'll
Sure.
come give the younger one a little like, go get him.
Kill him.
Now and forever.
Not a big fan of this song. It's like the one thing in the movie that I'm not like a huge fan of this. But I do love the way that it goes from present day to the past, that little transition there
Mhm.
that it'll have. here in a bit.
And yes, the score is written by Hans Zimmer, who, as we know, has gone on to do just incredible things.
Has he? Never heard of him.
A little bit. I mean,
I think I've heard his name once
here
or
and
twice.
there. Here and there.
Thought that was the villain in
This
Die
was
Hard.
Rosie O'Donnell's first film.
When I read something, a couple years ago, they did like for the 25th anniversary, a big retrospective and a lot of like oral histories. And she had talked about how she was talking about like having a conversation about Madonna with somebody like a week or two before she got cast in this film and talking about like, oh, I'm never going to meet her. That's never going to happen. And then they get cast as the best friends
Yeah.
together in this film. And she's like, oh, okay. And so she would actually intentionally like annoy Madonna by singing her songs to her like on set just to see if she could get a rise out of her.
That tracks.
Madonna's a pretty good actress. I mean, she mostly did stuff in like the late 80s or early 90s, but I always thought she was very compelling on screen.
Mhm.
Yeah, and this was when she really wanted to have this role just to kind of, show that she could do more than just the singing and kind of stretch herself.
Right.
It had to be such a culture shock for everybody else on that set because Madonna in this time period was just the biggest.
I mean, the
you know?
biggest star on the planet, arguably.
This little fade out. I love that.
Supposedly, there's a League of Their Own TV show in the works for Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah.
With,
I
Darcy
haven't
Carden.
heard many updates about that. I assume it's still in the works. Yeah, I agree, Mike. Zimmer does have a lot more range. Like, I think people forget, like, he did Lion King, but also, like, he wrote an amazing score for The Holiday, Something's Gotta Give. He's done all sorts of different stuff. He's not just Brahms and Rurs. What's up, Wingblade? Indeed. Baseball. Yeah, we were talking about that, Peggy. The casting of them as older is incredible. And because they dubbed Gina's voice over it, it just helps further the illusion that it's her in makeup.
Yeah, and I agree. I think the actress that sits in for Lori Petty is really, really close too.
Yeah.
They have very similar smiles, like when she like gets all sheepish.
I don't think David Strathairn is aged.
No.
Like, other than his beard, like, I look at him here and then I look at him now and he looks the same.
He's got Paul Rudd disease.
Yeah, he does.
One of my Reefism has the question about that any of them play sports, including baseball. So the very, very first audition for this movie was baseball. Like, that was, they made sure that whoever they passed on to, like, the actual acting portion, they wanted to make sure they had some level of baseball skill. And I think Gina Davis was the only one. It wasn't traditional. So they just kind of, her and Penny Marshall got together, just threw the ball back and forth a couple of times. And then once everyone was cast, they gave them, it was like 5 or 6 months of baseball training before they started filming.
Yeah.
So it was most of what you see in here, it's not doubles, it's them doing all of the slides, the catches. It was important to them to make sure that it was actually authentic, and when they were playing baseball, it looked like they knew what they were doing.
And it does. It translates to film, and nobody looks like an amateur. They all look like they've been doing it their whole lives.
Yeah, there's so many, Ellie, there's so many great stories to be told about what all the various women were doing back home. We see war film after war film after war film where there's like a shot of the wife like sad as their husband leaves and then happy when he comes back, and it's like, well, what was she up to?
And supposedly the original cut of this movie is 4 hours, because they did tell a lot of like the backstory.
Release
of the
Penny Marshall cut.
Right, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, we now have a precedent for this. So, but yeah, when it's more of the backstory of the characters and what they were doing outside of baseball, I'm like, I would absolutely sit and watch that.
Lori Petty is such a great actress too. Only thing recently I can think that she did was Orange is the New Black, but she still brings such a great, cool energy. And I think it's no secret that this, like, the aspect of this movie that really makes it sing is the sister relationship and how that all unfolds. It's so well developed. The two of them are just incredible together as sisters. Remarkable stuff. And without any objectification, Gina Davis in this movie is just absolutely lovely. So beautiful.
Yeah.
No arguments.
Especially during this era. I mean, I'm sure there would be many fighter jets with her face painted on the side.
Yeah. This wasn't too long after she did Thelma and Louise.
I think it was the year after she would.
A real, like, top of her game, big star, and just lovely actress. She didn't do that much anymore, but
Gina Davis,
I know she was in the last season of Glow.
She did some stuff on Grey's Anatomy for a while, but her character, well, I don't want to spoil it, but she's not around anymore.
Reefism Lori Petty was in Free Willy.
Yes.
I haven't watched that in a long time. I need to go back and see it again.
Honestly, I have very little memory of that movie other than the Michael Jackson theme song.
Yep. We sang that, I think, in 3rd grade too.
Yeah, we did sing it in chorus. Bum 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 ba bum bum. Yeah, and they're working on a new one, Marvin. Supposedly they have a new TV show based on it in the works.
Yeah, I can't remember the full cast, but I know that Darcy Carden's involved, and
that's right. I do remember that.
Oh, she's perfect.
I will see her, watch her in anything.
Peggy's in the chat. Garth, how are you doing? But she decided not to join us because she has other stuff to do. But Peggy knows she has an open invitation to anything we do on the Pajukin. I mean, she needs somewhere to show off all those awesome DVDs on her wall, right? Other than the Schmodown, which her match is coming up Wednesday or today if you're a Patreon.
Scotty's sister.
I was going to point to it in my thing, but I can never figure out where I have to point to get to my name on here.
Oh, all right.
I love that line.
It's one I say it a lot.
Well, that one, and he's one step up from dating a pig, but an important step.
Like, even the lines that are just like not important at all, I just want to say.
They're just so believable as sisters. Not just that they look alike, but they have that energy, that chemistry.
It's the
Oh,
relationship.
speaking of Peggy, there she is.
Yes.
What's up, Peggy?
Hey.
What's on? I'm actually not home right now, so no DVD wall.
Oh, that's okay.
I've got you
That's
covered.
a really nice window, though.
I am taking care of a doggy. Oh, and of course he has to leave.
Oh.
This is
Pupper.
Oh, hi, Teddy.
It's a puppy.
Teddy. Good
Look
boy.
at that beautiful baby. As they milk cows.
Yes.
John Lovitz always just looks uncomfortable in anything he does. He enters a room and it's like, this guy does not want to be here.
Doesn't that hurt them?
And so in his role, he was the only one that when they wrote this role, they had him in mind and no one else. There's a few other people that had auditioned for other things and they liked them so much they found ways to fit them in. But this role was always written for John Lovitz.
Couldn't imagine another person doing this.
No.
other than
Nah,
John
he
Lovitz.
knocks it out of the park.
In this movie with that mustache, he's kind of giving me a little PLD energy, actually.
A
A
little bit.
little bit.
A
A
little bit.
little.
Just a little bit.
Wow.
She is tall. His delivery and cadence is as Peggy performs her own one woman version of the film. I don't think she's muted. I think she's just not saying the lines out loud.
Oh, that's
because
what I've
otherwise-
been
I'm
doing.
just lip
Yeah.
syncing.
If you watch, like, every now and then, I'll just mouth them because in case I'm not in sync with people watching, I don't want it to be jarring. But
Just no worries. If for some reason all of our players go out, we'll just reenact
we'll
the
just
movie.
reenact it for you.
Yeah, we're good. We
Pretty
got
sure
this.
we're okay.
I'll play. James and I'll take turns with the Tom Hanks, and then they can
Yeah.
have all the other roles.
Hey, cowgirl, see the grass?
Don't
eat it.
eat it.
Gotta go home, give the wife the old pickle tickle.
I'm just gonna do this, and we're just gonna have some fun here.
Yeah. He's grabbing her arm. Hang on.
There you go. I mean, it's not as if Lori Petty isn't beautiful in this film as well,
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not like she's Marla.
right?
Marla Hooch. Hooch.
I think you might be a little behind us. Peggy, do you need a time code?
Oh, am I behind?
Maybe a tiny bit. We're at 14:55, 56.
Okay, mine says 17:32.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
you're
Oh,
ahead.
she's ahead of us.
They're setting the table right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Once did something special.
It's true. Peggy doesn't even have the
style.
movie on. She just has
Father's
it
listening to the
that
radio.
well memorized. If they ever do a League of Their Own exhibition match, no one should go up against Peggy because she's winning that thing hands down.
Oh,
Let's
I
go.
would.
Or
I'm not in
if
it.
has Video Drew ever done it? She should do a League of Their Own,
I
and
don't
it should
think
just
so.
be the
I'd
three
be
of
in.
you.
I'm in.
I'm gonna DM her. I gotta say, trains are not as nice as they used to be.
I know.
No. Well, and like I watch a lot of old movies, so there's definitely something romanticized about trains in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
That's not factual.
And then you get on an Amtrak and you're like, oh, it's a bus.
But the
And
great
it smells
thing,
like a bus.
but the great thing about doing that is usually when I'm taking it, it's to go see you. So there's joy at the end.
That's true. Oh, I bring you joy?
Of course.
Oh, thank you. That makes me feel so happy. Yeah, I'm gonna pitch this to them. I think that would be awesome. This song too. I just want to like. I've always wanted to throw my own like USO style concert for like a benefit for something.
Will it be like the one in South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut?
And so this was the role that Rosie O'Donnell had originally auditioned for, and they just, wasn't the right fit. But so then they decided to write Doris for her.
She would have done well with this, but it doesn't,
Yeah,
it doesn't really complement her comedic ability like Doris does. It wouldn't have given her enough to do.
one of the things was I can't remember this actress's last name. Her first name's Megan, but it was basically after they saw her come in and do it, they were like, "No, this is the girl."
Rosie is too. I don't know. She just has a brighter personality.
It's the
So,
energy.
Yeah, it's the energy exactly. I believe she could act the role, no problem, but it would also be a shame because the role she did get is more fun for her, for what her skill set is. Oof. I didn't know Rosie's on TikTok. That sounds fun. I kind of miss her talk show. Her talk show was fun back in the day. I'm having a hard time watching the movie. I just want to watch Peggy. Or as we call her in this house, ampersand.
Ampersand.
And Peggy.
Full name, ellipses, ampersand, Peggy.
That works.
Oh, Marla.
Marla's a better hitter than all of them are. She doesn't even look up. Her eye contact is like always down.
General Omar Bradley, too strong a resemblance.
Her name is Megan Kavanaugh.
Thank you. I was like, I know it's Megan. I just was blanking on the last name.
That look Lovitz gives is so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Mean, but funny. Speaking of baseball, looks like the Mets have offered Lindor a 10-year, $325 million extension. I think he'd be silly not to take it.
Yeah.
Because if he waits to be a free agent with all the high-end shortstops that are going to be on the market, he won't get that much.
Depends who is all in the market. Is this his walk year? I don't know. Yep. I don't think anybody else is really... There's
a lot. Trevor Story.
Okay.
There's a couple.
I don't know if there's anybody else besides Story in that.
I think there are. Hold on, I'll find out.
In that tier.
Carlos Correa and Corey Seager and Javi Baez are all free agents after the season.
Wow.
So that's a big shortstop class of really good talent. Which is why if I was him and you're being offered that much, I'd take it.
Yeah.
I like how already, even though the sisters don't know her, they're already supporting her because of her talent.
Mm.
They're already bonding. Like, we want to win these games, not just look pretty.
The one issue I have with this movie is coming up when the train moves and you see the American flag reflection in the train, and then they cut to, and then the American flag is way over there in the corner. I know the effect they were going for with it and everything, but
when the train moves, not the station.
Yeah.
Right. Movies will do those little optical illusions sometimes to get an effect that if you look too closely, you're like, wait, that couldn't happen in real life.
I love
It's
this.
I get what Penny was going for.
Oh, you're on a first name basis with Penny? Like my girl Penny. I know what she's doing.
See, right there, and then it's over there. Yeah. Mm.
If they made this movie today, that role would be played by Rachel Dratch.
I don't know if Rachel Dratch has got the size. You need to
No,
have
but
some
she has the
power.
face down pat.
Yeah.
She has the face perfect. This
Yeah.
is where Debbie Downer came from.
Yeah,
I don't
this
know
was
if
the
she could tone it
inspiration.
down enough. Like, I don't think she
Maybe
would
not.
be muted enough.
Wrigley Field.
No, I could see Dratch playing Rosie's role though. I could see her doing Doris.
Oh, you're a Cubs fan, Peggy?
Baseball's not my number one sport, but I like the Cubs more than the White Sox for sure.
Fair.
And plus, Wrigley Field's about 3.5 blocks that way.
Yeah. We did know this. We talked about this a little before, Marvin, how she originally tried out for Marla and then they gave her another role.
She's perfect as Doris Murphy.
Yeah.
The pickle tickle line.
I know this quote's from another film, but it's hard not to be romantic about baseball.
Yep.
Mhm.
God, I wish I could play at Wrigley.
Like, and I just love that reveal walking through the tunnel and then out to that.
Been through that tunnel at concerts.
Yeah, they are. The old school Mets are kind of weird looking. They've certainly made advancements in baseball glove technology.
I want one though.
Oh, yeah, I think it'd be so cool. And there she is, ladies and gentlemen, Rosie O'Donnell and Madonna.
I definitely tried to do that a lot as a kid, specifically because of this movie with the
I definitely
yeah.
learned how to do this specifically because of this movie. I would spend days at baseball practice doing this and juggling two baseballs with one hand.
I spent a long time practicing how to hit a tennis ball on the side of the racket, which I got pretty good at. That was the only like equivalent thing.
Nice.
And then I spent a lot of time with my devil sticks because, you know, devil sticks, right?
I forgot about devil sticks.
Like
Oh,
every
wow,
3
yeah.
years, someone comes on AGT who's just like mind-blowingly good on it. And I'm like, who still uses them in 2020?
I mean, in 2020, a lot of people might have if they found them and they're at home. Something to do.
Hacky sack's going to make a big comeback in 2021. Okay, some of them are going.
I would actually love Rosie to have like a comeback as an actress because I think she's really, really talented.
Mhm.
I agree.
I mean, I know she's a comedian and talk show host and all this stuff, but she's given some really great performances.
Yeah, her talk show was the one I would always watch. As soon as I got home from school, I turned it
Yeah.
on. And I loved her show.
Shooting the koosh
Yeah.
balls all over the
Yeah.
fence. With oh god, what was his name? The band leader. It was like John McD and the McDLTs. There's something
I can't
McD.
remember.
I can't remember if it was John or not.
There's always going to be some jerk who cares too much about what other people choose to do with their free time. The hyper masculinization of women. Shut up. Gender is a social construct. We all exist on a spectrum. I agree, Mike. To see her come back with like an Oscar-worthy dramatic role that I know she could kill would be awesome.
So basically, this is what I imagined the tryouts were like for the movie itself.
This was the
Probably.
tryout for the movie. They just
Yeah.
recorded it and didn't tell anybody.
Oof.
Nice throw.
I love this song too.
hmm
Good old Hans. And the attention to period detail is really good too, even down to like the type of bags there are
Uh-huh.
on the field. Nothing says baseball tryouts like jumping jacks.
Jumping jacks and toe touches.
Oh,
Gotta do it.
the Shirley Baker part kills me. I know it's coming.
So you're way ahead.
No, they're looking at the list on mine right now. Am I way too far ahead?
Yeah, they're still
Dottie
playing.
just threw him out a second.
Oh shit! I tried to jump forward.
It's okay. She knows the movie so well. She knows where we are anyways. Good catch.
Okay, so yeah, I'm way
Crashing
ahead.
into center.
That's like a Willie Mays catch right there behind. Ooh, nice catch.
Now they're just putting the lists up on the board.
Okay, yeah. Find your name. Yeah.
I haven't there. Now there's this. Yeah.
One, the coach of Racine, who's right there. Like, he shows up in so many movies, and I always see
He
him.
does.
I was like,
He's one of those that guys.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely don't remember his name, but every
No,
time
No,
not
but
at
I
all.
always see him.
Yeah.
I know exactly. I'm like, leave him
PJ,
alone.
if you're watching, don't ask a question about him. None of us know his name.
No, I'll just say the coach from Racine.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you said.
Yeah, that could have worked, but it wouldn't be as good. Tom Hanks is flawless in this role because people forget Tom Hanks was a comedian before he was a serious actor, and this role is like a perfect blend between his comedic timing and then the more dramatic stuff.
Yeah, much like John Lovitz in that role as the scout, I could not imagine anybody playing Jimmy Dugan.
Yep.
Like Jimmy Dugan is Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is Jimmy Dugan. There's just no.
It's still one of my absolute favorite roles of his.
Yep.
Yes.
As great he is in so many other things, there's just something special about it. And the rapport that develops between him and Gina Davis.
Yeah, because this movie lets him touch on all of his strengths because he is over the top comedy. He is, he's got a lot of heart to it, and you see a lot of small dramatic moments, like with him and Dottie on the bus towards the end, and way towards the end when he gets a few more scenes. But he gets to go through his whole spectrum of strengths.
Yeah. And I think the role he wrote for himself in That Thing You Do is actually a very similar type of role.
Kind of.
Yeah. Slightly less drunk in that movie.
Yeah, slightly less of an
You don't see
asshole
him
too.
Outside, you don't know what happens. He's only in the movie a little bit. You don't know what he was doing with Captain Geach and the Shrimp Shack Shooters.
Nice pull.
Way to go. I
Steve
also
Simon.
have
No.
a Wonders Tour t-shirt that is way too big now as well, unfortunately.
I've got a Stillwater t-shirt.
Ooh,
Oh,
a
that's
good one, too.
awesome. I can't wait. So they turned it to a stage musical. It played in San Francisco, and it was supposed to come to Broadway this year, which, of course, didn't happen for reasons. But I hope it still makes its way because I think that's a perfect movie to adapt to the stage.
Yeah, that'd be a really good one.
Yeah, Garth, actually, so the story goes the night before he drank 4.5 gallons of water just for the scene. Strathern has one of the most distinctive voices in
Yes.
film. Nobody else sounds like he sounds. And he is a damn fine looking man.
Marla.
For what? Now, Martha.
Yeah. Now we can all know how to do it.
She's just like,
Not gonna lie, I took basically these exact classes when I was a young teen, but there wasn't. It was etiquette classes. Readers, let me tell you, not a fan. I had to sip the tea. I had to walk with the book balanced on my head,
Oh my
and the entire time I was muttering, "Go fuck yourself" under my breath. The entire time. I love how Rosie's just like going to town on those cookies.
What? They're good.
I'm sure they're delicious.
Things always together. A lady reveals nothing.
Yeah, he doesn't age. Sometimes he'll have a beard, but otherwise he looks the same. I mean, as soon as they start playing baseball and getting dirty, there's not going to be any time for this lady bullshit.
I love this line.
So brutal.
A lot of night games.
That little like take back she does is amazing. Peggy, Garth would like to know if you're available to be hired to act out movies at parties.
I could do one of the women's shows for a price.
I guess my follow-up question is, what other films would be available on that list? Is there like a menu?
Coming to America. Basically anything that's on my back wall.
Okay, sure.
Lots of rom-coms I can do.
How to Lose a Guy in 10
Breakfast
Days.
Club, I can do that one. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, probably. Devil Wears Prada, shit like that.
Oh, I could do some Devil Wears Prada. But only if I get to play Emily Blunt.
Well, and add for some historical context to this, for anybody who doesn't know, so Walter Harvey Bars is actually modeled after the head of Wrigley because he was the one who actually started the women's baseball league. So that's why I know we got Chicago over here. So
Yep. And this here, of course, is Gary Marshall, who is the brother of the director Penny Marshall. He himself directed films like Pretty Woman and one of my personal favorites, The Princess Diaries.
I was getting ready to say The Princess Diaries. I thought that's what you were going to say.
I love The Princess Diaries so much. And then he did all those like Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, etc. movies, New Year's Eve that are like, Peggy, it seems like our viewers want you on more watch-alongs, please and thank you. Oh my God, I'm having such a hard time watching the movie. I'm going to tweet about this so more people come. Okay. Yeah, he's an icon. I mean, he did so much stuff in the original, like older television, and then just.
I didn't realize he wrote for Dick Van Dyke.
He also, God, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, he created Happy Days.
Yeah. And I love Dick Van Dyke Show, but I didn't realize Gary Marshall was a writer on that. I know Carl Reiner did a lot of them and most of them.
I feel like I need my own Rockford Peaches uniform.
I have seriously thought about buying this uniform many, many times. At least I have the hat.
James, I would love to see you in that skirt. I think your legs would look extraordinary.
So that uniform, but I mean, hey, whatever.
I want to see you in skirt, James. Either go for it all the way or not at all.
I said I play in a baseball league. I didn't say which league I play in.
Fair. You're also in the All-American Girls Baseball League?
That's right.
I love how they're all just fascinated with the sound of his urine, as if, who is that? Look at that baby. Oh.
This is Rory. This is my dog.
Hi, Rory. What type of dog is Rory?
I'm thinking she's a pit bull and Jack Russell mix. I'm not sure. So
she definitely has pit bull. She's beautiful.
Yeah, love.
We have a Jack Russell Chihuahua. Oh, what a sweetheart!
That still counts.
There you go.
It's just one of those like great cliches that works so well. Obviously, we saw it just last year with The Way Back, which was really quite good. Yeah, Rory's eye patch, I agree, is really special.
She does. Almost named her left eye.
Oh, that would have been good.
But Rory's the name she came with, and it kind of fit.
Yeah.
And to Mike's point, I mean, that's kind of what a lot of these ex-ball players did back then. You know, you're talking about players in the 30s and the 40s. A lot of them had really bad drinking problems, like famously. And this character was, you know, an amalgamation of certain people. I know Jimmy Fox being one, and some others based on different personalities and the career achievements. So, you know, it's not far fetched whatsoever. She's good. And speaking of Happy Days, we're going to see a Happy Days member shortly.
My dad still dresses like David Strathairn and these other characters do. When he goes to work, he wears a full suit and a tie and the hat. I can't tell you how many times I'll go to a baseball game with him after work on a Friday, and he'll still be wearing the suit and the hat, and the amount of compliments he gets is like, look at this suave old timer over here. Or like, hey, a real gentleman.
I just want to talk about, we've mentioned other people, just how gorgeous Tracy Reiner is in this too.
Yep.
Well, it's funny. So she actually, for the auditions, so Penny Marshall didn't know she was there. She was like, I'm just going to go with one of my cousins who wanted to audition. And so she made it to like, you know, the final 20 cut. And Penny Marshall went by. She was like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, my dad does this too. Sometimes in the summer, he will put his jersey over his suit jacket. And it'll be 90 degrees out. And then when we get home, he'll like take off his jersey, take off the suit jacket, and his dress shirt is translucent with sweat.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I do. A piece of me does like yearn for a time where you had to dress in the suit and the hat, you know, to go out all the time. But then I'm like, nope, I just like to wear a t-shirt. I'm good.
Not for me. Did any of you watch the TV show Pitch?
Yes.
Yes.
I love that show.
I was really
wish
sad that it got canceled.
It's all on Hulu. I wish it had run more, but you know, I watch that and I watch this movie, and I really feel like we need to get women in Major League Baseball. I think of any sport, that's the one where they can excel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought Mark Paul Gosselaar was so good in that show. Also, with that little bit of extra muscle on him and that beard, there's one word that comes to mind, and that word is daddy. I'm sorry. Gosh, top 5 baseball movies. I'm going to pull up my letterbox because, of course, I got the list. Give me a second. Mine fluctuates, but I would say A League of Their Own, Major League.
Yep.
Bull Durham.
Sandlot, Moneyball.
Moneyball. But I'm also I love Rookie of the Year. No, it's not.
Rookie of the Year, I actually just watched like 2 weeks ago, and it holds up so well.
Yeah, I completely missed Field of Dreams for some reason. Field of Dreams.
I like For Love of the Game because it's kind of a rom-com.
That movie bothers me on a baseball wise.
That's fair. Can't see John C. Reilly as a catcher in real life?
The Natural.
I can't see his evolution. Yeah.
I also really like The Rookie with Dennis Quaid.
Yes,
The Natural's great. The Rookie's pretty good. I have a really soft spot for Little Big League.
It's
I
interesting.
Love that movie so much.
I remember reading. Well, I remember reading an article. I don't know if it was Yahoo Sports or something did a couple years ago where they interviewed a bunch of different baseball players, and a lot of them said they liked Little Big League so much because they felt its depiction of baseball scenes felt most accurate to them, and I was surprised to hear that.
And you get a lot of real players, and I was a huge Ken Griffey Jr. guy, and he gets to play a huge role in that movie. And Timothy Busfield is so great.
I love Timothy Busfield.
Yes, yeah. I do too, and I'm glad that he works so much as a director now, but I miss seeing him in front of the camera.
Well, he was so great on 30-something, and then I always loved him on The West Wing.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree, Chris.
Mike says, for you baseball lovers, Patrick H. Willems put out a video a few weeks ago about why baseball is the best movie sport. I'm going to check that out.
I like Fever Pitch. That's a good one, too.
Hardball makes me cry, but I don't know if I'd call it a good baseball movie.
And Summer Catch is okay. It's
okay.
Baseball it has its moments.
Jeez, Matthew Lillard in that one.
Yeah, Matthew Lillard's great.
I was like, we said Major League, but Major League 2 because it's at Camden Yards.
Yes.
It's like slight edge.
The fun thing about the Major League franchise is both movies take place in other stadiums rather than Cleveland. The first one shot in Milwaukee, and the second one shot in Baltimore.
The second one is so bad.
It's bad,
so
but I still like it.
so
because
bad.
I'm
But it's-
nostalgic for it.
Well, I said, and it's in Camden Yards before they built up some of the hotels around it. So I'm like, it's like the view of Camden Yards that I love.
Yeah, you get to see the Brahma Seltzer Tower.
Mhm. That's exactly what I love.
But yeah, if I had to pick one, it goes between this and Major League for me.
This is the
I
one
go
for
back
me.
and
This is number one
It's
for me.
this and Moneyball for me. I
This
just
is
think
like a top
Moneyball
5
so-
movie all time, no matter what the genre. For
Yeah,
me.
this isn't. When we did our top 10 list here on the network last year, this was in my top 10.
Nice.
I love it. Teresa,
Yes.
yow. Can't even imagine doing that, seriously. But fellas, she's married.
And here's her
If this
kids,
movie was made
kid.
today, this voice would be Chris Parnell.
I was literally
Yes.
just getting ready to say that. I know exactly why we both had that on the brain.
I love that they keep her in such a wide shot so you can't even see her face, and she's just like, yes, with John Cusack, 8 Men Out, yes.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah,
that's good.
8 Men Out's great.
And also really good is, what is it, 61
61.
Stars,
One.
61.
which
Yeah.
was an
Pepper needs
HBO
more
movie.
recognition.
And didn't Billy Crystal direct that?
Yes.
But it's it's technically a TV movie, but it's
Yeah,
still really good.
It's an HBO movie, and it's
Yeah.
coming up on their anniversary. I think it was their 30th anniversary. And they're doing something in April. They're doing like a cast reunion for the big anniversary they announced.
That's cool.
Yeah, 42 is pretty good too.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Except for I
42
didn't
is
like
really
Harrison
good.
Ford's accent in that.
His Branch Rickey, yeah.
Fair.
I mean,
But,
there's
yeah, loved it.
there's so many good baseball movies. That's the thing.
Mhm.
It's really hard.
There
to
are
narrow
more
down.
good baseball movies than there are any other sport, I would argue.
I agree. But I'm also biased because this is my favorite sport.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm
for
going
me,
to,
it's-
by nature,
It's
think all the
baseball
movies
and
are better.
hockey, but there's only like a handful of hockey movies I think are great.
Yeah, there's like I can think of 4 good hockey movies.
Miracle, Mighty Ducks, Slapshot, Goon.
Yep, and I like Mighty Ducks too.
Yeah, well, I was just including like the franchise.
And
And I'm
what
enjoying
is
the
this?
new TV
Mystery
show.
Alaska.
Oh, Mystery Alaska. Yeah, I'll put
Yeah,
Mystery
okay.
Alaska
Yeah, with Russell Crowe.
in there. Russell Crowe and Hank Azaria. There's a huge cast.
That is a good movie. Peggy, you would be an exceptional mime. Have you considered that career path?
I can't sing worth a damn, so I lip sync to a whole lot of songs, and yeah, so it's kind of translated over to
Sure.
movies, unfortunately.
Oh gosh.
I used to say I wanted to have a daughter name her Evelyn, so that I can start using the quotes from this movie when I yell at her about her grandkids. About the grandkids.
This part with the dirt's one of my favorite.
The girls have a game.
No. Please.
I have been on buses like this. It never goes well. It never goes well.
So insulting. He just picks up a handful of dirt and throws it in her face.
So
best.
insulting. If that man threw dirt in my face, I'd kick him right in the balls.
Yeah, like, oh, he did not just do that to me.
Was it Gusatelli? Is that his name? Mr. Gusatelli.
Shan't be returning.
Sudden Death with JCVD kind of counts as a hockey movie, but you know it does count as a hockey movie?
Snake
Michael
Eyes.
Scott's Threat Level Midnight.
Yes.
One of the
Yes, it
all-time
does.
great hockey films.
Nice.
Mr. Gusatelli shan't be returning.
I'm still behind you. Oh, damn it.
This movie also does such an amazing job of like building up the chemistry of the team, all the relationships, and just how much they bond together. I'm sorry. Every time that kills me when he screams, "Who is Lou?"
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike. I mean, the
Well,
closest he gets
love
these
you.
days to roles like this is Woody.
Yeah.
Money Pit, maybe.
No, but
That's a long
today,
time
like,
ago, though.
Oh, gotcha.
No, he had a bunch of comedies back then. Money Pit, The Burbs,
Yes.
Big,
Joe
which
versus
is also
Joe versus
coming
Volcano.
out.
Ah, Joe versus the Volcano.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
I
even his
haven't watched that
rom-coms
one
like
in
You've Got
years.
Mail and Less Than
Sleepless.
Sleepless. You've Got Mail, he gets to be funny and silly, but now, who's Lou?
I love this dancing sequence though.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
it's a
this-
dream of mine to learn this.
Well, and so this is where I grew up. I loved Laverne and Shirley, so that
Yeah.
was really like, along with this, that was like my first time actually seeing Penny Marshall kind of on screen and doing what she does. And so that she does have a more well-known cast member from Laverne and Shirley, or more recognizable, comes up later on. But Eddie Mecca, who played Carmine Ragusa on the show, is one of the swing dancing right there.
Nice.
Oh yeah. I don't think I ever noticed that.
What's up, Buck? Yeah, we all love this movie too.
What's up, Buck?
So, okay, at the next Schmodown Live event, we are going to perform this dance live. So we have about 8 months to practice and learn it.
Well, so this, and I still want to see somebody do for one of their entrances the Palm Springs, that dance.
That's
Okay.
another one I'm learning. Don't be
Okay.
giving away secrets.
If my time in the FCL goes well, which it's gonna go real well, let's not mess around, and I'm in the Schmodown, and then I have a partner, especially if my partner's a guy, our entrance will be the Palm Springs dance. Just
I wanna see
James,
it
if
so
it's you
much.
and me, great. Peggy, if it's you and me, amazing. I'd actually love to be on a team with you, Peggy. That'd be dope.
I'm sorry, I was too busy lip syncing along to the movie to hear what you just said to me.
I was just saying one day I'd love to be on a Schmodown team with you.
That'd be dope.
People don't dance like this anymore unless they're like specifically going
It's
to
such a shame too.
swing or old timey dancing. Well, I mean, assuming I last that long in it, that's the other possibility.
Wouldn't doubt it.
1 or 2, take your choice. Not that I'm confident, but I'm really confident about
Says the guy who messaged me earlier in regards to I'll just shut up, but yeah.
that. Well, some people haven't seen it yet, so let's
yeah,
not.
that's why I'm gonna shut up.
It's a great match. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Really, really proud of you. Whatever else happens, you have a fan in me, Peggy.
First one under the belt, thank God.
I like that. Peggy to the max. That's kind of a fun team name. Actually, we should just be the Rockford Peaches.
This is one of my favorite interactions in the movie. So there's Carmine.
Can't we do both?
Can't we do both?
Ooh, I'm a little bit ahead of you guys now, though.
You've been way ahead of us.
Damn it! Okay. I rewind about 5 seconds.
I'll tell you when they focus on Marla.
It had to be.
As soon as she gets a close up, I'll tell you.
Nothing. We just gave her a dress and a lot of liquor.
And a whole lot of liquor.
Like I can't hear that song and not think of this scene.
Nope.
Like it's impossible.
She game.
Now.
Okay, now I'm a couple seconds behind you.
Okay, you'll be okay.
That little thing she does,
Yeah.
Yeah, the yeah.
Wait, hold up. You know who Marla reminds me of? Chris Clark. Because when he gets on stage to sing, he becomes a totally different
He
person.
does.
Which is what's
Yeah.
happening with Marla. Like this
That's
incredible
a
talent
dead
coming
ass
out of her.
accurate. Yeah.
The first time I saw Chris Clark perform, I was like, "Are you being possessed by the spirit of Meatloaf right now?" Oh, your fault.
I love you still.
So, random fun fact from something that was originally in the movie and got cut out. Nelson's profession is a cheesemaker. And I feel like that just makes so much sense.
The song is "It Had to Be You."
And she's singing the Nelson.
Name
Ain't
the
I, baby?
baseball movie starring Robert De Niro.
I know it. In 5, 4.
Answer it. You
I
know
was
it,
waiting
go for
you.
it.
It's the fan.
No, go for it. With Philip
With
Seymour
Wesley
Hoffman.
Snipes.
Isn't Philip Seymour Hoffman in that too?
I haven't seen it in a long time. If he is, it's a small role. But Wesley Snipes plays a player for the Giants, Bobby Rayburn, and De Niro's a stalker.
Oh no, he's not. John Leguizamo's in it. So which one am I
Yeah,
thinking of?
Leguizamo's in.
Tony Scott directed The Fan, which
Yeah,
is
he
weird.
did. I haven't seen it in a long time. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of
Snipes De Niro.
Big Fan with Patton Oswalt.
I always wanted one of these
Or
pitching
Swim
machines.
Fan with Erica Christensen.
Mm.
I don't know.
And oh God, what's that other guy's name? Jesse Bradford.
Yep.
What movie I was thinking of with Philip?
Oh, see, this makes me happy.
There was a scene cut out of this movie right around when he's on the pitching machine where Dottie comes out. Anyone seen that one? Yeah.
Yes.
So glad they cut it out.
Yeah. But for anyone who, if this voice is not familiar for you, this is David L. Lander, who was Squiggy on Laverne and Shirley.
There you go.
And there's a quote coming up here
Time
shortly that I'm
code
so glad I can use.
5355, 5340. Oh, sorry, 5347, 48, 49, 50. Nice place, Peggy.
Not my place. Wish I could say it was, but it is not.
I can't remember when I said this, but I got to use the "Oh goody" quote like last week or a couple weeks ago, and I can't
I'm
remember
ready now. Oh,
the context. Somebody
I
said
love
I'm
this.
ready now, and I got to say "Oh goody," and nobody got it except for Teresa.
As soon as he sees her starting to try and manage the team and give signs, he gets interested.
Oh, it was Mario Party. That's what it was.
Oh, that's right. It was Mario
Yeah.
Party. Well, and
Not
2 or
big
3
deal.
days
Just wanna be
ago,
doing
MLB Network on their Twitter feed and Cut 4, like they decided to do a whole day just dedicated to a league of their own. And so they had a college team basically recreate this entire scene. And
This
it's
is
really
legitimately one of my favorite scenes in the history of cinema, with Gina and Tom going back and forth with their signs. It is brilliant.
I'm the
Yeah,
goddamn
if there's
manager.
not DVDs behind Peggy, it's not her place.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment.
That's fair. Oh, you burnt. Oh, goody. The music kicks in right as there is nothing like the crack of a bat making contact with a baseball.
Mhm.
Nope.
It's a magical sound.
It's one of the most pure sounds in the world. You've all failed. I'm the only one that put them up.
Oh, sorry. I was distracted.
I just got to the part. It took me a bit, but I got there.
Grabbed? her milky.
milky white.
What?
White.
What?
She's reading,
I'm gonna-
and she
Gets really
That
good
should
after
be
that.
your new nickname,
Very good.
Milky James Milky White. And his opponent,
I'm just thinking, me, myself,
James
Irene. It's me.
Milky White. I agree. Peggy's background is one of the coolest. It's very unique.
Well, thank you.
I also like your array of tie-dyed upperwear.
I make them.
Oh, do you really?
Mm-hmm.
That's dope. Maybe you can make me one sometime.
Yeah, I gotta start an Etsy store soon. That's the one thing
Absolutely. I
have
was just
yet
going to say
do.
that.
Mostly, I've just been giving out to friends. So
Well, if you're good at something, which you clearly are, you got to make some money on it. Don't give away the goods for free. Her accent. None of the other boys. You know?
strange.
I identified with this so hard growing up because I was a total tomboy, if that's a shocker to anybody with a doubt. But yeah, this hit home.
So long, Charlie.
Teresa, what flavor of sparkling ice are you drinking?
Oh, I always
viewers
go for
wanna know.
the lemonade just because I think it's
Ooh.
the one that tastes the least artificial because they're all very artificial. So yeah, I go with my traditional lemonade.
James Milky White with the Milky White legs and the peaches dress. There you go.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
Here it comes.
Mhm.
Here it comes. One of the most iconic lines. Hey, Brian. I hope your watch along went well.
James has got the shirt.
Of course he does. Of course he does. There's no crying in baseball.
Oh, you zip it, Doris.
I think like none of them when they were doing this thought that that line was going to become what it was. Like they had no idea it was going to have this longevity.
Well, that's what always happens, right? Those film lines that become iconic, no one can expect it. You have the writer thinking they're writing something incredibly like clever, and then no one cares. And then this little thing they threw in at the end, they're like, "That's what everyone says." Okay.
Right.
Oh, Reef said they drank the fruit punch flavor.
No, I have not had that one.
This is a undervalued line.
Yeah, I agree.
Anybody tell you look at penis with that little hat on?
This is what I picture.
I can't believe no one
when
ever called
Kaiser
you that
talks about was it his dad who had the interactions like when on the field.
Oh yeah,
With
I
him.
mean, yeah. If anybody doesn't already know, John Kaiser, his dad is Major League umpire.
Oh, I know.
And
I've
got
been
into it with-
regaled by those stories.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got into it on many occasions with Earl Weaver, who is like the most notorious.
That's what I
person.
picture that those interactions were like.
Because I could definitely see Earl saying everything that Jimmy Dugan says, and then some.
There was a video that went viral a couple years ago of Terry Collins yelling at the umpire where the mic was hot, and gosh, it's so good. Can't close him down. Yeah, Madonna, what are you supposed to do?
No other options.
No other options, Madonna. She's just a material girl living in a material world. Like a virgin. Touch her the very first time.
Don't cry for her, Argentina.
The character sitting next to Dottie, I can't remember her name, looks kind of like Saoirse Ronan.
I can't see where Dottie's at.
That's Helen Haley.
That's Beverly. I thought it was Beverly.
Oh, Beverly, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Beverly right there.
Yeah, that's Helen.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's Alice. Never mind.
That's Alice.
Yeah, I always forget Alice busy outfit
Brian,
this part because she's not
James,
catching up.
great match the other day. Peggy, can't wait to watch yours tomorrow. Teresa, my favorite ice is pineapple coconut. Max, you're just the best.
Tomorrow, Wednesday.
That's very
Brian, I
complimentary.
appreciate
Although,
you, sir.
And that is actually Gina Davis doing that split. Like,
Is it?
mhm.
that look on Hanks's face.
You never really
By
see
the
her
way,
face when she does it.
As
so I
long as
didn't
we're
ever
talking
think
about
it's her.
Tom Hanks, what the fuck is up with Chet? Like, I don't understand how Tom Hanks produced Chet.
I saw a tweet earlier that was White Boy Summer was the working title of The Great Gatsby.
Yeah. Like, Colin Hanks, okay, I get that. That makes sense. But Chet? Garth says, Peggy's match is a great one. Eric really did one of his best promos for the match.
He knocked it out of the park.
He crushed with our promo too.
He tends to be pretty good at,
Yeah,
at
the
what
one
he
we did
does.
for James's promo was great.
That's a talented man there, that nerd chronic.
Damn it.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he might have a future. Catch a foul, get a kiss.
This always cracks me up. All the sailors running for it.
Sex sells, ladies and gentlemen. Sex sells, apparently.
Right. I gotta go.
Betty
walk the
spaghetti.
dogs. Once Jimmy drinks the Coca-Cola on the bus, that's when I'll take off.
Tall girl.
Beverly. Ooh, that doesn't hold up.
James Chris Taylor says, hell of a match with Preston. Nobody should be sleeping on you.
Thank
Although, you know, if anyone wants to sleep with you, that might be okay.
all those factions slept on me too much.
I agree. You took him to the end. It's impressive play.
I got a letter from Nelson.
Woo!
But thank you, Chris. I appreciate that.
22.
We love you, 22. How's that
They're
relationship
punks,
work?
says Amber. I assume she's referring to the factions who slept on you.
Ah, this part. She just launches that ball. Love it.
So there was a thing that went viral on Twitter a year or two ago where someone said make a spin-off movie of this where you follow that the black girl
Yes,
character
that would be
who
dope.
throws the ball and they start a women's league.
I'd watch that movie for sure.
Absolutely.
How are you just going to bounce in the middle of the season? Come on.
Right? Thank
That's
you.
just-
You
she
saved
got
that shit for the
married.
offseason.
I don't care. She loves baseball that much. She can win.
So this bruise is real.
Yeah.
That is not makeup. That is a real bruise that she
Right?
got
Oh,
from
God,
sliding.
it looks so
This is
brutal.
pretty funny. Preston and White is a team Sunday, so they come out as dry cleaners and their team is pressed on whites. That's pretty funny.
All right, Garth, that's a good one.
Garth's always good for those creative team name things that he comes up with.
Ooh, gosh.
That's because Dottie does not drop the ball.
No, she doesn't.
Dottie's a beast.
Oh, doctor.
Now, no spoilers for the end of it, but do you think she actually? Yeah.
No.
No.
No. We'll talk about it when we get there.
Gotcha.
a little punk kid playing his
That little
horn.
shit.
And the look on Tom's face.
That is difficult to do with catching.
She makes it look so easy. So easy.
Like that, and she was the
Superstar.
one who didn't have to pass the baseball, like that tryout.
But there's someone standing there like 5 feet above her, just like throwing it into her mitt.
Still, a catcher's mitt's
Honestly,
a little
there's
bit.
just something about the look with like the dirt smudges on the face that's really cool.
Yeah, and so they had two sets of their costumes. So they had the dirt ones, and then they had the clean ones. So basically, just kind of swap out between the two. And basically, that's
That
all they
makes
did to get
sense.
them dirty was they just slid in the dirt.
Showboating. Imagine if a major league player caught a pop fly to the outfield with their hat.
I'm not going to say that I didn't try that.
Well,
I love this
I don't
theme right
blame you.
here. This music.
I don't blame you at all. Give the Oscar to the dirt. And the award for best dirt goes to Buried with Ryan
The
Reynolds.
mud in mud.
There you go.
My mind went Slumdog Millionaire, but that's not dirt.
Wait, is she married to John Smith, assistant manager at the dairy? That's a joke for a very limited number of people.
Yeah, I don't know that one. Kidding.
Yeah, this is a good point, Garth. Holes, the dirt in Holes was robbed of its Oscar that year. I agree. Yeah, and we don't talk enough about the dirt in Joe Dirt. I mean, really just like
That's why Mama named you Joe Dirt.
extraordinarily complex dirt in Joe Dirt.
Like and the
The
Emmy
texture.
for dirt goes to Parks and Rec and the Pit.
Oh, well, of course. And the Pit, yeah. I hope you're enjoying our League of Their Own watch along. For the next hour, we'll just be doing dirt jokes.
Don't be such a stick in the mud.
Because once again, the PJ Campbell Network, where we're going, we don't need rails. Mike with an incredible point. Are we just going to ignore the jar of dirt from Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yes.
And remember when the Mud and Predator won in the dirt category? So much controversy. Wow.
Or
So
Tom
much.
Sizemore with the dirt that he collects from the different locations in
And
Saving Private Ryan.
Ryan. That actually won the Oscar that year. It didn't win Best Picture, but it won Best Director and Best Dirt. Good stuff. It is, but also it's your fault in the very best way because it's a great trademark. Tagline, whatever you want to call it. That's pretty funny too.
Oh yeah. How did we literally forget the movie The Dirt?
Oh, the Motley Crue one?
Yeah. Because everybody
I
forgot
saw that.
movie already.
I thought Machine Gun Kelly needs to do some squats. That kid has some skinny legs.
Allow me. It was an important conversation worth having. I'm glad we debated it. We came up with a definitive answer. Okay? And that's all I'm going to say about that. This is a family program tonight. Readers, it is not.
I gotta bounce for a second, guys. I gotta walk the dogs, but hopefully I'll be back.
I'll drop you out, and then if you're back, you can come back in.
Ooh, my. Let her go. Throw her little hissy fit. Well, that's a lot of bacon in the chat.
Clearly, there's a favorite. Good night, Reef. Thanks
Good
for
night.
hanging with us for a bit.
Siri.
James, do you understand why the bacon?
You mentioned it earlier.
Yeah. That was about a third of our unwind last night.
Yeah.
Actually, since he's talking about peanuts, what is everybody's favorite ballpark snack?
Peanuts. I love like when the game is over, there's just a giant pile of shells under your feet.
Yes.
And I like kicking them like to the row in front.
Well, so that's gonna be one of the things I'm sad because you can't bring in food this year, so I'm gonna be sad to like not take that with
Giant
me.
thing of peanuts right here.
Can I have some?
Yeah. I'll just start throwing them at you.
Wait, hold on. I got it.
If I'm just
It'd be like
snacking
Sully
during
and
the
the
game,
confetti.
if I'm just snacking during the game, I love peanuts. But if I'm going just to get like a snack at a game, it's probably a hot pretzel.
Oh
And
yeah.
you
I
can't
like a
pass.
good-
You can't pass up a good ballpark hot dog.
Mhm.
Yeah, hot dogs are good with a little nice mustard on it.
Yep.
And that's the only thing that should be ever put on mustard condiment wise. Get your ketchup out of here. Toppings we can talk about. Throw some sauerkraut, some nice chopped onions.
Well, Garth, this ain't my first rodeo, buddy.
Oh my god.
I like relish and mustard or relish and ketchup. I'm not a big sauerkraut guy in my hot dog. Disney's California Adventure used to have a Caesar salad hot dog that I loved, and I don't think they have it anymore.
Right. Was that at Award Wieners?
It was at Award Wieners, yes.
Well, thanks. Now I want a corn dog.
I just want any Disney food. Any.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll take a Dole Whip.
I would love a Dole Whip.
Whip. Why am I saying way?
Once I was like, what were we just doing that on? I was like, oh, it was when we were drafting. Nobody else knows what we were doing.
Oh,
Yes,
right.
we had
No
our
one,
fantasy
no one
baseball
gets our
draft.
joke. We decided that the baseball stat whip has to be pronounced whip. And we went around the room and everyone had to say whip. Just put her in the shower, let it go. All right, on the count of 3, Dole Whip. Everyone ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Dole
Dole
Whip.
Whip.
Great timing we have. Great timing.
I feel like it's all about, we did it based on the time where we are in the movie. That's how we synced up, because I think we're all
Fair.
like,
Fair. My goodness, Lori Petty's all wet. And speaking of all wet, it's because of the shower. Yeah. Never mind.
I love everybody has their first name on their locker, but Dottie has D. Henson.
Because she's the star. Dottie is the JT Realmuto of this league.
Well, it is interesting because I've seen conversations, it's mostly about politicians, but how when it's like a male politician, you tend to defer to like using their last name, but when it's a female, you default to like using their first name more often. Like it's just like societally, that's kind of what happens. So I do think that's an interesting touch there, in that, you know, for the most of the women, it is their first names on their lockers, whereas because it's like a level of respect for her, it's the last name.
That's interesting. Garth,
So
I'm not pulling it up, but we have seen it and it is funny. Real funny.
yeah, well done, Garth.
That if this was at midnight, that would get some real points.
Yeah.
I want them to bring that show back with the host other than Chris Hardwick, but
Yeah, I loved At Midnight. That's
me too. You know what actually be an incredible host for that is Mark Ellis.
Oh yeah, you would.
Oh yeah.
But I was
If
able
you're listening,
to.
Comedy Central.
Yeah, I was introduced to so many like up and coming comedians at the time for that show, like Jen Kirkman and Ron Funches and a bunch of others.
Well, I think that's how I knew who Camille was.
Yeah. I learned about Camille from the Indoor Kids, with him and Emily doing their video games.
It has just been brought to my attention that I tagged the wrong Peggy, who I know that likes movies, in my tweet about Peggy performing A League of Their Own. Oops. Yeah, this is a good point. He is a good host for anything.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a line that's like at the end, it's very, very end of this scene, that again, it's another one of those, I'm like, it's kind of such a throwaway line, but it makes me laugh every time I hear it.
I can't be trusted with anything. It's
when
so
she
embarrassed.
comes in, has anybody seen my hat?
Yeah, so that's exactly what it is.
This might be the best sister relationship in a movie.
It's a way
It's
up.
definitely up there.
Yeah, Penny Marshall really gets the dynamic down.
Well, and I think this movie was like slated to be made a year or two before it actually was, and it had a different director, and I can't remember who it was, but it was a man. And so I think when it came back around again, and was Penny Marshall, it was like, you know, she was the one, like, she really got this, and I think that would have taken on a completely different tone with a non-female director.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't have.
Yeah, like it just wouldn't have worked.
No, not at all.
Going back to your point earlier, I want to play catch with Penny Marshall. That would have been fun.
That does sound fun, doesn't it? Don't look at her. Don't look at her.
Like, but she has better hat. I don't know why that line just makes me laugh so much.
Piss on your head.
Like that whole. I
Does
love
that
that
seem
whole
uncalled for?
It's like that's probably one of the lines I use the most out of this movie that has like really nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah, Garth, I liked watching the Meltdown shows on Comedy Central. Those were always fun.
And this song was actually like the song of the league, or like the team, like, you know, the girls would sing it together when they were getting ready.
Oh, this is a real song?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that either.
Woo!
That's true. She is going to go off and become Tank Girl now. Good point.
That's the origin story right there.
Stillwell's face is the best. here we go.
Mm-hmm. When it was the whole meme going around the other day about like you cry at movies, the movie, like it's this.
There may be no crying in baseball, but there's definitely crying in baseball movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh.
I'll tell you, this delivery guy is the biggest dick I've ever seen in a movie.
What an asshole. Wow. For a short amount of screen time, I sure do really hate that guy.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's like just barges in there and makes the biggest buffoon of himself. Trying to control my tear ducts right now.
I know.
Poor Bed
Wouldn't be the
Bath.
first time I've cried on the PJCN and won't be the last.
And this was not originally how this scene played out. So I think, and hold on, wait till it comes up in a second, because there's a shot immediately after the scene. Okay. So they initially, what the scene was, like he had just gotten injured because before all that, Marla, in the original version of the movie, Marla comes back and she comes back to play and she's also gets put on racing. And so when she comes back, she's pregnant. And there's a scene where Dottie slides really hard into her and then she has to go to the hospital. And there's all the concern about, oh, she might have lost the baby. Something may have happened. And so that's initially why she's crying. When they decided to not do that scene in the movie, they needed a different reason for her to be so upset when he was coming home, and just him being injured wouldn't have been it. So that's why they decided to kill him.
It is true, Jeff, that there's no crying in baseball, but there is crying in watchalongs, despite what Garth says. Also, it's like, who could we cast as her husband to come in? How
Bill
about
Pullman.
Billy P? Bill Pullman. It's amazing how quickly after this he becomes president.
Yeah.
Went from the army to president so quickly.
Well, I mean, he did say he was flying fighter jets in the war, so.
He did indeed. This is it right here.
I'm a fighter pilot.
Heard and noted, Jeff. Heard and noted.
Yep. You
Yeah,
can't just do Paddington 2. That's got to be a double
No,
feature.
it would be a double feature. It
I
would
was
be
not prepared for how emotional Paddington 2 was. I was not ready for
Paddington
that.
2 is in my top 10 of the decade.
Paddington and Paddington 2 are both phenomenal movies. And I thank Roth Cornett for tipping me on to Paddington.
Yeah.
She spoke so highly of it when it was coming out, and everybody thought it was just going to be, another kind of cookie cutter family film. And that's not
Tom and
it.
Jerry, Peter Rabbit type of thing.
Yeah, no, it is fantastic. Both of those movies.
I agree, Mike. I agree.
And I cannot wait for Paddington 3 and what A-list celebrity they get to play a villain in that.
I've heard so many different suggestions, and I think my favorite was Daniel Radcliffe.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I like
Because
that.
it's the same producers as the Eddie Potters.
This is another one of my favorite quotes here. The kids at the autograph.
Mhm. I almost made that my name for tonight.
I did too.
Of course. We both should have. It would have been great.
Yeah, I cut it off, but I almost put the full thing. That's good advice.
I mean, it's great advice.
Yeah.
It's very, very good advice.
Who leaves before the World Series finishes? Come on.
Dottie?
Come on, Dottie.
Come on, Dottie. What are you doing?
I believe this more than I believe Marla leaving, though. Marla loved baseball so much.
Mhm.
I don't see her choosing to get married in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
Unless, because the original version she was pregnant, unless that happened
See,
before.
now if that
marriage.
was in, I would feel,
Mhm.
yes. I would feel much
I don't
better.
think Paul King is doing Paddington 3, so I am curious to see who they get to direct it.
Eli Roth.
I mean, he did do The House of the Clock in Its Walls, which is a family film.
And it is
Although
a fun
still in his wheelhouse. I don't know who I would pick to do that. This is a good way to describe Paddington. If Wes Anderson directed a Pixar film, it's pretty good.
Well,
That
and I
line
love.
gives me chills every time he says it.
Mhm. I would say that. Yes, that whole speech is one of my
It's
favorite parts
supposed
of
to
the
be
movie.
hard. The heart is what makes it worth it.
Isn't I sort of feel like that's the case about anything worth doing.
Hmm. Yeah, it's very applicable.
It is.
Well, I mean, he says it earlier when he said he was scratching his nuts for 2 hours. Anything worth doing is worth doing well.
Look, if you're going to scratch your nuts, do it with gusto. That's all I'm saying. Women's World Series, Rockford versus Racine. Racine?
Racing.
Racine.
Racine?
It's fun when you look back. It's like there was like 6 teams in the whole league. I think everybody made the playoffs.
Yeah, he does kind of almost quote Casablanca. If that bus leaves and you're not with us, you'll regret
Yes.
it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon and for the rest of your
No,
life.
I agree 100%. Like when he starts that, I definitely, I hear the similarity.
Yep. There's definitely Rick Blaine energy there.
Big Rick energy.
Yes. That's a slow clap.
Points.
That's when we need Ellis just to pop in out of nowhere. Points.
Points. Always have him on retainer just for points.
A couple of seasons ago, the Orioles went on like the start of the season. It was like 10 game in a row win streak. I did not change my socks during that.
Oh,
So they
well
were
then.
Oriole socks, and I always wear the same hat when I go to the games. I I'm very superstitious when it comes to baseball, and I have a
Can
lot of
confirm.
things. I do.
If it works, it works.
Mm-hmm.
You wearing the bracelet?
So yep, the bracelet is so this is the thing my grandma started is basically there's a bracelet that you wear, and then if your team starts to fall behind, you switch it to the next wrist, and then they'll come back. And literally, it's happened multiple times. As soon as I switch it to the other wrist, they'll get runs, and the game turns around. So
My dad's superstitious in so much as when his team is behind, he gets up and leaves. It's like,
I'm
I'm
not
done.
superstitious, but I
I'm
am
not
a little
either.
stitious.
yeah,
I am a little stitious. I know
No,
you can
I'm
be
superstitious with
overwhelmed,
sports. Yeah.
and I know you can be underwhelmed, but can you ever just be whelmed? I think
No,
you
I am
can.
very superstitious when it comes to sports and only sports. for the
yes,
most part.
yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, it's just like one for me, just baseball because that's the only sport I follow.
Yeah, De Niro in Silver Linings Playbook had so many superstitions for the Eagles. His I think that was his most recent Oscar nomination. Because he didn't get one for The Irishman.
You didn't get that nomination. You're right.
Nope.
Good
Which is
old
why that
David
question
Olsen.
in a recent match tricked some people up.
No, but he was nominated. He did get nominated for The Irishman, but it was for producing the movie.
Right,
He
but
got
not
a
for
Best Picture
acting.
nomination, but not an acting nomination.
James, we missed it.
What did I miss?
Oh,
Oh,
You know what I always think of? I always think of Angels in the Outfield. Oh, it's about a Spanish guy.
yeah.
Jose, can you see? Yeah, Jeff, that was a really smart trick question where you thought it might be De Niro, but the answer is actually Pesci because Pesci got the Irishman nomination and not De Niro for acting.
Mhm. We're gonna win. We're gonna win.
Nice and warm. Had some trouble with bears, did you? Well, I mean, you're already dressed, so it's fine. Just come, I don't care. This is Tom Hanks at his most Jimmy Stewart with his voice.
Yeah.
Because they're the obvious, Tom Hanks is the obvious successor to Jimmy Stewart. That is not an original thought.
So, also, fun fact, I send James that gif before all of his matches that you're gonna win to get him pumped up.
I do not care for this child.
Got him.
I like how his mom is just like, he's fine.
Yeah.
He's got a good face too. And baseball gloves are not soft.
No.
That poor kid actor.
You'd think they would be, but they pack a punch.
She was safe.
The kid saying you're going to lose is part of Peggy's intro to her show, Fantasy Film Fights, every Wednesday. That's cool.
Nice.
Oh, that's a bad throw.
That was terrible.
Oof.
This Hank's face is one of my favorite things he does.
Just a...
I'm gonna need you to work on that in the off season.
I sometimes feel like this when I have to talk to people at work and gently guide them.
Deep breath. Don't forget to breathe.
Yeah.
Relax. I know that Tom Hanks is widely regarded as one of the best actors ever, and I'd still argue that sometimes he doesn't get enough credit for his different roles.
Yeah, Tom Hanks is my favorite actor of all time. It's
hard to argue.
It's a lot of it to do with this role and everything he had right there in this chunk of time between Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Apollo 13.
Apollo 13 is so good.
I
And you know
Apollo
who else
13.
is in Apollo 13?
Ed Harris.
Ed Harris.
Gary Sinise. Kevin Bacon.
ELD pops up. Did someone say Ed Harris?
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen him get more recognition for Apollo 13 because I think he's so great in that. That movie is fantastic. I love it.
Apollo 13?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, that little 3-year run he had with Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, and Apollo 13, just boom, boom, boom.
Unparalleled. It's true. He has done everything, even a great comics-based movie and Road to Perdition.
Yeah.
Directed by Sam Mendes, also starring Jude Law, Daniel Craig, and Tyler Hoechlin. And Paul Newman. Score by Thomas Newman. Cinematography by Conrad Hall, the late, great Conrad Hall. But I don't know anything about cinema, ladies and gentlemen.
No,
I'm just here for fun. Yeah, bring Madonna home.
And just because we haven't mentioned it, Téa Leoni, one of her very, very early
right
roles.
here.
Yeah.
Based there.
That is Téa
I think
Leoni.
I pointed it out the last time we watched that.
Yeah. Like, I always knew she was in it. I just never paid close attention enough to find where she was.
Sister v. Sister. The drama.
Now I'm just hearing the Sister Sister theme song in my head. Thanks a lot.
I think it's something to pay attention to if you, like, the more times you watched it, but all the stuff that David L. Lander says as he's announcing, you might miss it the first time. It's hilarious.
Yeah, News of the World is really good. I got it on 4K recently.
I'm very excited to watch it. It's top of my Netflix queue. Yes, I still get DVDs.
Yeah,
by mail.
it's short wait on Netflix.
Hashtag James is old.
You cannot find a lot of things that are streaming.
No, I know.
Some things are only available on physical copies.
My two disc a month plan.
So yes, for people like us that like to see, everything, there's a lot of things you can't find digitally. Like the film Dutch. Unfortunately, the film Dutch, the great comedy with Ed O'Neill, is not available on DVD anywhere or streaming anywhere. You can't even rent
Which
it
one?
on iTunes. Dutch. The Thanksgiving comedy.
That movie with Ed O'Neill, John Hughes. That one is hard to find.
It's hard to find on DVD because it's out of print and it's
you
not
can't
available
rent
to
it either.
stream or rent anywhere.
I do have it on my hard drive.
Yeah, so there's a lot of movies like that, unfortunately. So I like having my DVD by mail just for those opportunities.
Nice catch.
Yeah, it is.
Way to go, Madonna.
That was a shot, too. That's a 410-foot fence. Come on now.
That would have been out in many parks. Ball.
Ball in the dirt. Yeah, that looked good to me.
Yeah. But everyone needs a friend like that.
At bat, Tia Leone.
Hey, Leone, let's go.
Yeah, again, the dirt just doing a great job on Gina's face. Well done, dirt. Well done. It's a hell of a catch.
It's a hell of a catch, and nobody tried to catch her. Come on now. You got to have better teammates in the dugout. Let Yadier Molina try that and see how many guys are going to be able there to catch him going down the steps.
I think it was 2 or 3 seasons ago. Todd Frazier caught a ball in the stands, but he didn't actually catch it. He just picked it up and pretended like he catched it, and they didn't see it, so they gave him credit for it. And afterwards, he was like, "I didn't catch it."
Yep.
I know there was debate for the Orioles. I think it was Nate McLeod that happened over in left field. That there's like a lot of, the same kind of thing, but then they I think he actually did just pick it up because it's Nate McLeod.
But he also hit a home run in the playoffs that they said was foul.
Mm-hmm. Hit the fat pole.
There's so much drama.
It's the great thing about baseball, man. People that don't love it just think that there's so much downtime, but there's so much tension.
Strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, and it's one of the sports, like, you can't hide. Like, everybody is in the spotlight at some point on the team.
Yeah. And it's 27 outs. It doesn't matter how you get them. So, I mean, there's no time limit. You get one out left.
That's kind of thrilling about it. There's no clock.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to get 27 outs. And sometimes, that could take a while.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a while to get
I like a nice 3-hour game, but sometimes a 9-hour game, you're like, what's going to happen?
Right. Especially like on the West Coast games, like every season it seems like the Orioles have a West Coast game that goes into like the 17th inning.
It's now 9 a.m. The East Coast is at work, and the Orioles are still playing the Padres.
Angels, usually.
Or the Angels, yeah.
Yeah, usually the Angels.
Yeah.
I have to check the schedule. I hope we do play the Padres this year. I'd love to see Tatis and Manny come back.
I was like, any other Padres you want to see? Bring Ryan Flaherty over.
I remember our first year of our fantasy league, your team was called Machado, No We Don't. Yep. Machado, No We Don't.
Machado, No We Don't. Or I think it was Machado, No He Didn't. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
But now I'm Shadow of a Trout, and that's pretty damn good. My favorite team name I ever had in fantasy, though, was in fantasy football.
All right, here we go.
I had 1.21 J.J. Watts, and that is my favorite team name ever.
Oof.
I get it. I hate it.
Do you think Dottie did it on purpose?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You think she dropped the ball on purpose?
Yes.
No. I don't think so.
I think she wanted Kit to get the moment and be the hero, and she did it on purpose.
I disagree.
This is a first.
I know. We're usually like 100%. Like, and Gina Davis has said, like, she knows, but she's
Good
never
thing we have
telling.
this on video. The first time you guys disagreed about something.
What's your opinion, Maxwell?
I don't think she did it on purpose.
Okay. I'll be in the minority. Just know that I'm right and you're wrong, both of you.
Kick him out.
No, it's just us now. Yes.
No, I do. I go back and forth on whether I think she did it or not. Purposely. Right now, I'm there, but I have times when I watch it and I think she didn't.
I think she's just too competitive.
But if she was that competitive, she wouldn't have left for the World Series.
But she came back.
That's why I go back and forth on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think either is a valid read, and it says a lot about you as a person, what you think.
Yeah.
So.
Racing.
Help yourself.
That's their bonus for being in the league.
You get a single pennant.
If you make it to the World Series, you get a pennant.
Pie kit. Oh. Oh, sisters till the end.
They can stop at the last blockbuster while they're on their way.
I need to watch that documentary.
Pretty good.
You watched
enjoyed it?
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
It's really nostalgic. If you were
irony to the fact that it's on Netflix.
It's a lot of irony to that, and it's mentioned right at the very beginning.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, definitely as a blockbuster kid, there was a lot of nostalgia in that.
Yeah. I know people are always like, well, Blockbuster put the mom and pop shops out of business, but my town never had a mom and pop video shop.
Me either.
So
we had a Blockbuster and a Hollywood Video.
Mine did, and it was called the Video Store.
Oh my God, where could they possibly have come? Wow.
I grew up in a town that has like a
single.
Yeah, no, it was a town that has like a single stoplight, and that was downtown. Like I grew up around a lot of cows and farms. But yeah, so the Video Store is what we got.
She also played baseball for a dairy.
Yeah, exactly. See, super relatable to this movie.
This is your life story. Just in different time periods. Oh, sisters till the very end. What kind of thing is that to say?
It's an endearing thing to say.
And he finally shaved 2 readers.
Yeah.
He cleaned up his act, metaphorically and literally. Save me my special seat now, cutie.
To your point, I really hope we do get another Tom Hanks comedy. Just a nice straight comedy with him.
He has it in him.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the new Judd Apatow film starring Tom Hanks.
I would totally be into that.
The last sort of comedy he did was that movie he directed, Larry Crown, which is not very good.
It's okay. I haven't seen it since it came out. I was thinking about revisiting it, but
This music. I once rented the movie Hurt. Wow, that's really. Thank you so much for telling us that, Keon. Really vital information.
For your everyday life.
I mean, for what it's worth, Keon's my best friend in real life, so I get to mess with him.
But I can't hear the words vital information without Lori Beth Denberg coming into my head.
Quiet! This is a library. Oh, this is such a great ending.
it is.
This has to
That
be
looks
some of the
just like
very,
it, too.
very best like two actors casting for the same role. It's impeccable how close they look.
Whoever the casting agent for this was did a fantastic job with this. It's like all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Marla. Oh,
Egg and
well,
cheese.
look who's back. Just in time for the ending. How is the walk?
Oh, you're
Can't
muted.
hear you. You're muted.
You're actually muted this time.
I think you're muted on the StreamYard. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
It took him a little longer to go number 2 than I had wanted. So, but
I assumed something like that had happened.
Did you time
You're
him
like, I
when
want to
Vomit was
watch the
good
movie.
moving?
I let the movie keep playing. So I still. Do you remember?
Peggy, did Dottie drop the ball on purpose?
I think so.
Oh, we're
I'm in your-
divided
We're
50-50.
tied.
You've tied it up. Interesting.
Just she knows how much of it meant to a kid.
That's where my brain is. I go back and forth with it, but that's where I am.
I see this guy, and all I could think is, I know what you are, but what am I?
Yeah.
And I know him from this before I know him from Pee-wee's.
Oh,
So every
okay.
time I go back and watch Pee-wee's, I was like, oh, Stillwell Angel.
That's awesome.
Even though I definitely saw Pee-wee's Big Adventure before I saw this, I'm pretty sure.
Fair. That's Tim Franco's favorite movie.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Fun facts.
I think I've been told like 1,500 times.
Hey, James, you know what Tim Franco's favorite movie is?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to tell you. 58 home runs. That is a hell of a season.
No kidding.
Aw. He died the year I was born. Maybe I'm the reincarnation of Jimmy Dugan. No.
You hit 58 home runs?
Maybe.
Well, and so most of the women who are in the scene outside of the ones that they got for the other actors were the women who actually were in the baseball
Aw.
league.
That's awesome.
They should have just had it be actually David Strathairn. Like,
He
Not
didn't
age.
age.
It's like
Same guy.
most unrealistic part of this movie is him
Yeah.
aging.
Oh, we were talking about you earlier. What's up, Kaiser?
there he is.
Yeah.
We can't watch baseball without talking
Yeah.
about you.
No. That's good advice.
It's fantastic
Avoid the
advice. It really, I mean, goes without saying. It goes without saying.
When he turns around with the cigar in his
Yeah.
mouth. Ah,
This music, Hans really
Mhm.
does the work, doesn't he?
a good score is like everything.
Yeah, it can make or break a movie.
Yeah, it could turn a good movie into a great one.
And a bad score could ruin something.
Mm-hmm.
I love that shot.
Yeah.
Of them all
Picture.
sitting.
It's
Yeah.
very reminiscent of all the steel workers up on the beam.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Why don't they bring it back, women's professional baseball? I don't get it.
I'd watch.
Or just bring them in to the regular league. I have chills.
Hmm. I know. I'm getting super emotional. That's why I'm being quiet now.
Yeah, it is a tear fest. We've all been crying a
It's
little bit here and there.
getting me, man.
Like I said earlier, Kaiser, there's no crying in baseball, but there is crying in baseball movies.
It's true. Swedes. One for all.
We're their big ass family.
It's incredible casting here too. Wow.
Mhm.
Like all of them, yeah.
Unreal. Oh, sisters till the end.
And like the biting the lip too. Like
And then the other one in the back who's just like, oh, Peggy, I wish I could give you a hug.
Buddy.
Yeah, I can miss half of the movie, and this part still gets me.
yep.
I don't blame you. Don't blame you at all.
And this, when they fade into the other photo,
Yeah,
Ah.
It's so good.
so
Mwah.
good. Chef's kiss.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Like,
You a little verklempt there.
I am. Yes, I am verklempt. Exactly right. Oh, what a picture! What a picture! Well, that was a league of their
now that we're
own.
all gonna cry for a minute.
Yeah, now that we're all getting it out, It's a little group therapy. We're having a moment here.
Go to me last.
Okay,
This is probably one of my top 5 Madonna songs purely because of this movie.
purely
Yeah.
because of this movie.
Mhm.
Well, so before you joined us, Peggy, we all kind of talked about why we love this movie. Why do you love this movie?
It covers so many things. It's a sports movie. It's a movie about family. It's a movie about friendship. It's a movie about finding the place in the world where you belong. It's just fantastic. I just love it so much.
Yeah. How did it go for you on this rewatch, Himes?
I mean, it's the same every rewatch. I just love this movie so much. It was fun to be able to watch it with all of you guys to be able to pick out your favorite moments and see mine over and over again. like all of us here. I mean, I can just quote this movie back and forth, and I do it all the time.
Peggy did it for an hour straight. It was incredible. And of course, I realized I tagged the wrong Peggy on Twitter at first. And my other friend Peggy, who loves movies, is like, "This wasn't me, but I wish it was. It sounds fun."
It's this movie, like Peggy just said, it's got a little bit of everything there, and you feel what you feel when you're actually playing baseball. You get that camaraderie of the team. It comes through on screen very well. And the relationship of Dottie and Kit, it's a very real sisterly relationship there. And I mean, who doesn't love Tom Hanks being able to do his over-the-top comedy roles? I want more comedy with Tom Hanks. I miss him doing these, and it's just the best. I love this movie so much. I can watch it endlessly, and I will probably watch it again in another couple weeks. You know, we got baseball season coming up. It's time to be watching these baseball movies. Let's go.
Yeah, I will go to you last, Tree. So, I agree with everything everyone's saying. Again, it's in one of my favorite movies ever. It holds up every time. It is a tear fest, as Kaiser said, and that was illustrated on numerous occasions throughout tonight's stream. It has it all. I don't know how to say it better. And really, every time I watch it, it's the two relationships that I really hone in on: the sister relationship and then the relationship between Dottie and Jimmy, that are so beautifully performed and written, and it really lets you care on an emotional level. And then just the incredible ensemble and the music and the baseball. It's kind of perfect, except for that one flag thing, right? Peggy? I mean, come on, what a mistake!
I don't know why it irks me so much. It just does.
I honestly never noticed it until you brought it up, and now I'm going to see it every time. All right, Tree.
Yeah, so I think this movie, it's one of those, I still do want my 4-hour Marshall cut. I would love to see that, but it's just a very, in addition to everything you said, it's a very complete movie. Like, it's a little over 2 hours, but you don't feel that whatsoever. Like, it doesn't miss a beat. There's no moments where you're like, okay, they don't need this, or, oh, I wish there was something else there to kind of expand on that a little more. Like, it's everything about it. It just fits so perfectly. And I think especially right now, like, I'm more emotional than usual watching this just because baseball is coming back and like didn't get to go to any games last year. And I'm like, I'm going to cry, like walking into Camden Yards. Like, I'm going to like just be bawling. And I think this is going to add to it too. So just the reminder of baseball and just feeling like baseball's back.
Oh yeah. When I make my grand return to Citi Field in like 2 weeks, I'm going to be like, we're home.
Yeah,
Maxwell,
exactly.
This is finally the year we can actually go to a game together.
I know, we've been talking about it for so long. Yes. Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
It's not a long train ride. Both ways.
Cemetery Boneyard.
Yeah.
Cross fingers, you never get into that.
There it is. Well, look, thanks to everyone who joined us tonight. If this was your first time watching it, I hope you liked it. And if you've seen it before, I hope you enjoyed it again. Before we sign off, just go over a couple things we have coming up on the channel. As I mentioned, tomorrow night is our monthly patron only Ask Me Anything. If you're a $2 and up patron at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, we'll be sending out a link, and you can literally ask us anything because it's unlisted, so only you guys get to see it. We'll talk movies, Schmodown, FCL, alcohol, sex, whatever you want. We are an open book. Bacon. Yeah. It tends to get a little wild. So if you're not already a patron, you could sign up just for $2 so you can come and see what we got going tomorrow night. And then, although we haven't announced the movie yet, April watchalongs. All movies will be involving apes, monkeys, chimpanzees, orangutans, anything in that field. So Planet of the Apes, Mighty Joe Young, who knows, Project X, Gorillas of the Mist. It's going to be a lot of fun. A couple other things. Saturdays, we do our Falcon and the Winter Soldier shows at noon Pacific. And coming up April 13th, we have episode 3 of Book Nook. And this is a special crossover episode with Danny Ramirez's show, Watch the Book. So Dwayne and myself will be joined by Danny, and we will be discussing the book, Never Let Me Go, as well as the film, and talking about how they compare and contrast and all that fun stuff. James, where can everyone find you online? What do you have to promote?
Yeah, you can find me at Gator24 on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd G4TOR24.
Speaking of Danny.
Hi.
Sorry, James.
No, you're fine. It's G4TOR24. And I just had a match against Paul Preston. You can check that out on the Schmodown Entertainment Network. And
excellent match.
It's a pretty good match. So yeah, Team Corruption, we're going to be coming for it. And it started off slow last year. It's going to be the end of the season for us, so it doesn't matter. we're
I
gonna
can
get
think
there,
of
but
one
yeah.
thing that corruption could have that can make it go a little better. Maybe Peggy, where can everyone find you online? What do you got going on?
I am at Peggy B Ball across all social media platforms that I am a participating member of. I have a match in the Schmodown as well that just dropped today for $10 plus Patreons. It'll be on YouTube on Wednesday for everybody else. And then you can find me every Wednesday over on Featured Presentation Productions, hosting my show called Fantasy Film Fights, where we just take a random movie topic and we draft it fantasy style. This week, we are drafting colorful films. You have to either pick a movie with a color in the title or someone who's an actor or an actress in that with a color in their name.
Oh, well, that's
a fun
fun.
one. Yep.
I like that. What about you, Tree? Where can everyone find you online? What do you got going on with your podcast and whatnot?
Yeah, so you can find me mostly on Twitter at Gertie the Dino. I'm also on the No Guilt Disney podcast, where it's mostly Disney theme park chatter. It comes out every other Wednesday. And then there actually may be another podcast happening that has a Disney theme. It also has a movie theme. It is also with some people on this screen right now who have already committed to guesting on it. So TBD for when that's coming out, but it will be my co-host is someone all of you know very, very well. And we'll leave it at that.
I, for one, am very excited about this. It's going to be awesome. You can find me on Twitter and Letterboxd at Cinemaxwell, Instagram at Cinemaxwell Inc. Of course, you can find me most nights here on the PJ Campbell Network. Again, become a patron so you can ask me whatever questions you want tomorrow. And I'm competing in the FCL. I don't know when my first match is yet, but I'm going to win that and all the other matches, and then I'm coming for the Schmodown. So buckle up, people. On behalf of myself and Peggy and James and Tree, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We will see you next time on the PJ Campbell Network.
This pillow is fucking useless.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Box, the exciting show where we open a box and decide if the box rocks or if it's a box full of rocks.
I don't know if this is going to be a good episode.
Can we make a "This pillow is fucking useless" shirt?
Yeah.